So a lot of my journey as I was in the process of getting jacked, and even to this point, right, as I'm continuously improving, I've learned some things in life, a lot of things in life. I have 10 lessons that I'm going to give to you guys in terms of what I've learned when it comes down to the process of getting jacked, and even once you do get jacked, right? So let's get into it. I don't want to waste too much of your time, right? So the first lesson is that I found out that getting jacked is simply just a gateway. It's not the end destination like a lot of the fitness influencers tell you. It's simply a gateway to everything else in life, right? As you get those habits, as you build those routines, as you build the discipline, all of that stuff, it's a gateway to other things. It was a gateway for me to get into business. It was a gateway for me to improve my communication with other people because of the confidence, which I'll get into as well. But those little things that I started doing after I got jacked, I realized that that was why I did it, because I mastered a part of my body. I mastered my entire body. And I got to a point where I wanted more in life than just that. See, so many people, they focus on it being the destination. Getting jacked is the only thing, but it's like, it's just the beginning. It's the beginning journey for pretty much everyone. Whether you're high up and you're making a lot of money in business or whatever, it's the gateway that's going to open up so many other doors for you. So that was lesson one that I've learned. The second lesson is that I realized that improving your self image, especially physically, is an accelerant. It's an accelerant in so many areas of your life. For me, it was an accelerant when it came to women, right? Relationships. It was an accelerant when it came to just how I started moving in business and how I started adapting, how I started doing what I did. It was just a big accelerant for me to be able to transcend what I wanted to do, because everyone saw me a certain way. Everyone perceived me as something that was larger than life because of my physique. And it wasn't that that was the only thing, because there are other skills that you have to learn, but it genuinely accelerated a lot of my progress in other areas of my life. I did sales for a while. It accelerated my sales skills. It accelerated my results in sales as well, because I looked a certain way, which had me come off as somebody who was respectable, as somebody who they could actually listen to and trust. So it accelerated money, it accelerated relationships, it accelerated my health even, right? I got even more energy to be able to do the business that I wanted to run and run multiple businesses at the same time. It accelerated my relationships with other people. Other people started gravitating to me, one, because I showed that I did it, right? Which is a hard thing for a lot of people to do, believe it or not. But also it accelerated just my relationships with people in general. People just wanted to hang out with me a lot more, right? I was more appealing for them. Maybe it was because I gave them a perceived status, which again is okay. You have to understand human nature, right? But that was a big thing for me. It accelerated a lot of my progress in other areas of my life, just my self image. See, a lot of you, when you walk around, your self image is not the greatest, right? You're not in the best shape of your life. You don't need to be like a roided out bodybuilder. Absolutely. You probably shouldn't do that. But you should get to under 15% body fat to see what your body's really capable of when it's at its most optimal state, right? And build a certain amount of muscle that looks natural, that looks appealing to people, and see how it accelerates other areas of your life. Because the one thing that you'll understand as it being an accelerant is that everything in life revolves around people. So if you can put yourself in a positive light around people, then everything else in your life is going to accelerate, right? So that was lesson two. Lesson three is that you should never make, or at least I learned, I should never make my personality around getting jacked. That's a big thing. You might have seen my most popular video, which was getting jacked change your life, right? Will change your life. That was a great video, but the thing that people liked about it is that I didn't just talk about fitness. I talked about other things, my personality, my whole idea of multidimensionally jacked, right? Become a multidimensionally jacked person. It basically means that other areas of your life make up your personality, not just your body, right? That's where a lot of these fitness influencers, these gym cells, these people who are constantly making the gym their image, makes the gym their personality. They always talk about their protein intake. They always talk about different things. Yes, you can be passionate about the space of fitness, but you also should incorporate other areas of life, which a lot of people don't do. Right. So you want to make sure that you never make it your personality. You always want it to be kind of like an accelerant to your personality. You always want to make it as it's part of it in the background. It's something that you've worked on. It's something that you've done. Right. But you don't want to make it the main thing for you. That's where most people mess up. They make it their main thing. They make it literally just everything is about fitness. Everything is about nutrition. Everything. They're so paranoid about going out to go eat somewhere because they're afraid that their physique isn't going to go well. Everyone knows them as the fitness guy or the fitness girl. You don't need to do that, right? You just need to be able to get yourself to a state where you feel healthy, you look good, and you can live life the way that you want to live life outside of just the gym. See, everyone goes to the gym for 3 to 4 hours a day because that's literally their personality, right? I go to the gym for like 45 minutes a day. I don't stay for a long period of time. I'll show you guys my workouts coming up, but I don't do a ton in the gym in terms of time. I just be optimal, get in, get out, and move forward with my life and apply the lessons that I've learned while I was working out to my life coming up after the gym. All right. So it's a great back and forth. The fourth lesson I've learned, the fourth lesson is that it shows competence. Whether you believe it or not, when you get jacked, there's a certain level of competence that you have that shows to other people, right? And the competence can simply be that you even got to the physique that you got to. That shows that you're competent in achieving something. See, a lot of us, we walk around and we've never achieved really anything in life to show for, right? And we get to a point where we feel useless and other people don't even find the value in us. But the minute that you actually work on your body, which is the first thing that you can do, the first thing that you can change as soon as possible, it shows that you have a level of competency in life. You've mastered a skill, you've mastered a result that other people would like to have, right? And this opens doors to you helping other people do it. It opens doors to you motivating other people. It opens doors to like you networking with greater people because you've shown a level of competence. You've shown that you're not just a human being living on the earth and just not achieving anything. It's the easiest thing that you can achieve. I'm not saying it's easy to the point where you can do it like super quickly and easily, but it's something that you can definitely take advantage of as your first milestone in your life, right? Maybe you haven't started a successful business yet, right? It is something that will show that you have a level of competence so that when you want to start a business with someone else, they'll want to work with you, right? So you have to understand how getting jacked actually benefits you from a competence perspective. And it also increases your awareness of your innate competence in life because you achieve something. The minute you achieve, it could be a little thing in life. This is a big deal because there's a lot of people who are unhealthy in the world. There are a lot of people who don't look their best in the world. They don't look healthy in the world. They just look unhealthy. They look unkept and they look like people who just don't have their lives together, right? And I'm not saying getting jacked means that you have your life together, but it signals that you somewhat are disciplined to a certain extent, which I'll get into. But lesson 5, it boosts your self-confidence. See, when I was super skinny, because there's people who they're very, very fat, like they're huge, and they're insecure about that. And then on the other side, there are people who are super skinny that are insecure about that. I was on the super skinny side. I could not gain weight. I looked scrawny, right? Did I have some abs? Yeah, you can have abs as long as you're lean enough. You're under 15% body fat, you will show some abs, right? But when it came to my overall physique, I wasn't confident in who I was physically, right? When I walked into a room, I didn't make eye contact directly. I was very shifty eyed, right? I couldn't really hold a conversation very long because in the back of my head, I was thinking, man, I'm so scrawny. Like they probably think that I'm just like worth nothing, right? And this is a negative way to look at life, of course. But when you start getting jacked, when you start seeing the transformation, it gives you this level of confidence, self-confidence, because one, like the previous lesson, you've gained the competency. But two, even better, you've actually gained a level of confidence to where you know that you're just as good as the person who's next to you because you've achieved something, right? You may not even it's not even that you're comparing yourself to the other person, but you have this level of awareness that like I actually am somebody that people should talk to because I've achieved something great in life. I've actually made a goal happen in reality. I've turned a vision into reality, right? So that's another thing. So another thing that's interesting is lesson 6, which is it changes your mindset around problems. This is a big one. So before I got jacked, right, I always took problems as something that could not be solved. I didn't have the mental strength to be able to like actually endure problems that happened and actually overcome them. But as I was in the gym, as I was lifting more weight, as I was seeing myself progress in the gym. I was seeing my physique change. I was going through different emotions while I was in the gym. Frustration because I couldn't lift a specific weight, right? Or frustration because my body wasn't changing. As I started finding ways to solve this problem, which getting jacked itself makes it so much easier because those are really hard problems to solve. And A lot of people, when they go through the process, they end up solving that problem. So when you solve that problem, every other problem in your life seems very minuscule, right? It seems like it's just the easiest thing in the world for you to do. And so that's why it's so important for you to actually go through the journey and do it, because you will start to solve other areas of your life, other problems of your life that people just tend to not even realize are pretty connected to your journey of getting jacked. It's a very easy connection to make. The problems you have in the gym, the weight that you can't lift, you find a way to do it. You go research a way to do it. It just changes your mindset. You become somebody who, no matter what problems come your way, you have the physical strength, which demonstrates mental strength, right? Because your body is a reflection of your mind, whether you believe it or not. Once you have that physical strength, once you have that mental strength as well, you can now transfer that to business. That's why I've had some of the hardest things happen to me in business, right? Accounts getting hacked and hundreds of thousands of dollars getting pulled out from a hacker, right? I've had these things happen, but my mind is so strong because I forged it in the gym through forging my body that I can endure and I can find solutions. The reason why a lot of people don't find solutions to their problems are because they take their problems as things that are way too big for them, as weight that is way too much for them to lift. Rather than finding ways to be able to do it, strengthening themselves to be able to do it, they just give up. In the gym, you don't just give up. You keep going. You find a way to be able to do it. You go finally research a way to go do it. So it literally changes your mindset around problems that you have in life. Problems become nothing, right? And it's a fact. Lesson 7, right? You gain a lot of respect from people. You gain massive respect from people. And the reason that you gain massive respect is because you've done something that, believe it or not, many people in the world have not done. You may be in this echo chamber on YouTube or on social media and seeing all these fitness influencers and thinking that it's a regular thing. It's not a regular thing to be jacked. It's just not, right? But when you go out in the real world and you go look at people, you see how rare it is to find someone who is actually in the best shape of their life, happy, healthy, and mobile, functioning. You don't see that often, right? So you gain massive respect from people when that happens. I even remember, like literally just now, me and my girl, we went to a market outside here in Romania, and there was a random guy that literally pulled me over, that grabbed me. It was like, hey, and I didn't understand what he was saying, but he wanted a picture, right? He literally wanted a picture with me. I'm not saying that I'm famous by any means. He probably doesn't even know who I am. But because of how I look, because of my physique, the way that my body fills out, the way that I look, I gained the respect from him to the point where he literally stopped and he gave my girl a phone and was like, can you give me a picture with him? And he just showed his stomach like this because he had this like belly, this beer belly, right? He was like, and then he asked to take the picture. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know what I do. But again, he has massive respect for me because of the discipline that I've shown, right? And that goes to lesson 8, which is it displays ultimate self-discipline. Do you know how hard it is to discipline yourself, especially when you're in the process of getting jacked, to not eat the foods that are going to affect your progress? Like, do you know how hard that is? Do you know how hard it is to go to the gym when you don't really want to go, when it's a rainy day, you're not in the mood, but you still need to get yourself there and get the workout done. You may not even feel physically strong enough to do it, but you still drag yourself in to do it. That takes intense self-discipline, which then displays that because everyone knows how hard it is to consistently be in the gym, to consistently maintain a physique. I've never wavered in my physique. I've always either improved or stayed the same in my physique, right? So that shows immense self-discipline. But the problem with a lot of people, though, is that when they have that self-discipline, they just keep it in the gym. You need to translate that self-discipline in other areas of your life simply by awareness. You know that you have the discipline there, and you take that same mindset and you apply it to everything else. Maybe you need to literally simulate every other area of your life as a gym environment, right? That helped me a lot to be able to transfer my skills when it came to the gym to that, right? So it literally displays the ultimate self-discipline. Lesson 9, it changed my perspective on failure, right? The thing that's interesting about this is that failure is something that most people, they stop right when they fail, not knowing that the success that they want, the thing that they actually want to accomplish is right on the other side of that failure, right? And they have the fear of failure. At the gym, as you know, there's times where you have to do sets and reps to failure. And it's okay. You now condition your mind to understand that failure is actually a good thing. Failure simply means that you're pushing your body to its limit, to its safe limit, and it's going to grow from that failure. You see your muscles grow by you going to failure, right? There's a lot of people that are like, bro, that's overtraining. You shouldn't do that. I don't care what you think about overtraining. I don't care what you think about going to failure. I do it. I love it. My body changes because of it drastically. I've never been injured. I've never had ligament issues, nothing. If your nutrition is dialed in and you're actually feeding your muscles, failure is okay. Going to failure on drop sets potentially, or anything of that nature. So it literally changes the way that you think about failure. You start to embrace failure because you know failure allows for you to get stronger in life. So there's a direct correlation with that, right? So you have to understand that. Now, the last lesson, this is interesting, it puts you in a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. See, a lot of people in life, they move around with a fixed mindset. What is a fixed mindset? If you haven't read it, look at this book called Mindset by Carol Dweck, I believe her name is. I read this book and it changed my mind as well when it really emphasized the difference between a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. So a growth mindset is where you might encounter a problem, but your mind is going to be able to grow and adapt to be able to solve the problem. A fixed mindset means that you literally don't think about fixing a problem. You just think that the problem is there and you need to stop. You're fixed. You stay in the same place. You don't excel. You don't try to get past or push past the adversity that you have. You stay in the same place, right? So when you stay in the same place, that's a fixed mindset. You're fixed. You stop in one place. A growth mindset, the failures make you grow even more because you've learned how to actually propel from it. A lot of people, they struggle with life because they're in a fixed mindset, and getting jacked, the process of that, being that now, right? I now have the ability to have a growth mindset everywhere that I am because I've applied it in the gym. All of my greatest life lessons have been in the gym, I promise you. Everything that I'm telling you right now are lessons that the gym taught me. Physicality taught me. Now I'm doing fight. Now I'm kickboxing, right? And kickboxing is teaching me a separate set of lessons that I'm going to tell you guys. But just being in the gym for all these years has taught me so much about life that it's evolved me into being the person that I am now. And I haven't seen somebody on YouTube articulate this in this way. I haven't seen people draw parallels to life and fitness in the gym as much as I've done, right? And I think there needs to be more of it because it's a clear indicator for a lot of other areas of your life. It's a clear, like, end result. Like your physique definitely tells a lot about how you think and how you live. Even if you're on steroids, I'm not saying that you have to push your physique to like superhuman levels and start taking steroids, because that also gives the mindset of, well, you need assistance, right? You need a cheat code. You need shortcuts. Now, there are people who take it because they medically need it, like TRT. Maybe you're 40 or 50 years old. That's different. But the young kids who are taking steroids, it tells me and it tells other people subconsciously that you need shortcuts. You have a microwave mindset, right? Your mindset literally is like, I need to get the fastest results possible, so I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. Versus when you do it naturally, when you get to your peak physique naturally, then you can decide if you want to go be a professional bodybuilder, go do that. But once you achieve your physique that you want, right? That is literally when you start to realize, I actually have a long-term mentality. I've done this, right? You're not looking for shortcuts. You know that the process has changed you. See, a lot of these people who shortcut their way to the physique that they want, one, they don't even look that great because they took the steroid and now they just look like crazy and they just look disproportional. They don't look natural, right? There's people who don't even think I'm natural. I'm like, this is very natural, right? I have some chest hair here. Some people, I remember when I posted a picture, the chest hair kind of looked like acne or whatever. You can see like chest hair right here. This is just my chest hair. But people literally find ways to make it seem like I took a shortcut to get to how I look. A lot of it was genetics. A lot of it was my diet. A lot of it was my nutrition. A lot of it was my discipline that got me there. And it shows in other areas of my life. It shows the confidence that I have communicating to you on camera, right? It shows the amount of people who are interested in listening to me when I have my shirt off and I'm talking, right? I don't do that on purpose a lot of the times, but I started to because I'm like, people literally respect that. That shows a level of competency which makes people want to watch me, right? So that's the other thing, right? So you have to understand how all of this works. And I hope that you took these life lessons and you start to apply them in your life and your journey. I hope it motivated you in your journey. Again, I'm going to tell you what I have. So I have a coaching offer under group coaching to help you build your personal brand. If you have the physique that looks good and you know how to speak on camera, or you're getting better and you get to a point where you want to get on YouTube and get paid to talk about the things that you know and like, right? And help other people in their life. Links in the description. Join the group coaching, 2 weekly calls, right? Or 2 calls weekly, every week that you get with me personally. You also get my curriculum to teach you everything I know about YouTube growth. You get a community of men who are doing the same thing. It's inevitable for you to be successful if you do everything that I tell you to do, right? So there's that. Now, the big thing, if you lasted this long, that means that you actually care about fitness and you're in the process. Now, I used to be a fitness coach and I stopped doing it, but I want to open up my fitness offer, my fitness coaching offer, potentially to 5 guys who are interested in getting in the best shape of their life. I'd never really wanted to do it anymore, but I realized that there is a need for that. There's a need for people to do that. And I know how to do it very well. I've done it for a decade now, over a decade. So it's something that I want to offer to you. If you're interested, links in the description. If I forget for some reason to put the link in the description, which I won't, email me, martel@mindofmartel.com. I will set up a time to speak with you. We'll figure out what your goals are. I'll work with you. It could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, whatever time frame it takes to be able to get to the goal that you want. And we'll get in the best shape of our lives. All right? So I appreciate you. Conquer the world, conquer your life, conquer your body. Get jacked. Yes, get jacked. I don't care how people think it's toxic. It's not. And I'm going to catch you on the next video.